All right, girls. We are doing so happy May. Can you believe it's May? I can't believe it's May. I'm like just can't believe it. But I'm so excited because our new products launched and I get to show them to you finally. So I know I've been kind of teasing you a little bit and showing you a little sneak peek of them, and obviously got to post them and kind of share them. But I have had my buzz kit for probably like a month and a half, I would say. And so I've been playing with everything, and it just is all so good. So we'll go over that really quick and then answer any questions if you have any. And then I know we had a couple people that had some questions about their Facebook Messenger parties. And it's a whole kind of new thing for me. Holly is actually the one who discovered it and has been kind of doing it and learning it. And she taught me a little bit. It took me a second to wrap my head around it because I was like, what do you mean a messenger party? And so I've played with it the last couple weeks, and I feel a little bit better about it now, to be able to kind of share it with you girls. And then whoever would like to participate in one or do one with me, that maybe we could get that scheduled for May. So we'll talk about that here in a second, but I want to talk about the new products first. So this is our summer line. And if you signed up for PCP, or if you, so if you signed up for PCP or sent yourself a catalog, you should be getting your catalog soon in the mail. And it's so cute. So we got a new perfume, which I'll show you. And of course, as always, it always shows the limited edition product in the back. And then I believe that this new catalog has the updated prices in it as well. So don't forget that on May 15th, some products had a price increase. And so you'll want to make sure that you are grabbing, after the 15th, you're going to want to make sure that you're grabbing prices from the new catalog, or else you'll be charging the previous price. So just always make sure that and there's not a lot of products. I mean, there was a pretty decent list, but a lot of the other products stayed the same. So you'll just want to make sure and grab that either from online or the catalog, but only after May 15th. Okay. So that's the new catalog. Those will be arriving to your customers' houses if you did PCP within the next week or this week, hopefully. And my idea, which I don't really know how it's going to go, but my idea was to maybe try to tie in the Facebook Messenger party with the PCP follow-up. So kind of and like I said, I don't want to get into that now because I'm going to go over that in a minute, but tying in your customers receiving their catalog to them hopping on the little pop-up party and kind of introducing the new products to them. So we'll go over that in a second. But our summertime line, so I always love getting a buzz kit. As a sales director, you get to have, you get a buzz kit every quarter that the new products come out. And they give us lots of good, juicy materials to be able to use. And then we get to try the products a month and a half early. So it's a really fun perk as a sales director. It's probably one of my favorite perks of being a sales director is getting to have all of the new products shipped to me before anybody else can get them. So we're going to unbox this together, kind of go over everything. The first one that we have is our new perfume. And this is Mary Kay Confidently You. It's so adorable. The box is like so trendy, so cute. And I would have to pull up the post, but Holly had posted she went to, I think it was Dillard's, and this is a dupe for a Chanel perfume. So it smells very similar to a Chanel perfume. But this one is cuter. And she said she actually liked how this one smelled better. And I believe she said that the Chanel one was like $296 or something. So guys, people are buying $300 perfume. So crazy when this smells almost exactly like it. So this, I'll just kind of read the top notes and bottom notes. So this has an Tanya, I know you were asking about a couple perfumes for your customers. So if this one isn't it, because I think she said a floral scent, this does have a little bit of a floral scent, but if it's not, maybe florally enough, there's probably other ones. But I think she might really like this because it has the floral scent. So, okay, so there are top notes of mandarin, bergamot, and juicy notes of pear. So, very summertime. And then the middle notes has jasmine, cassis bud, and rose. And then the bottom notes are warm amber, sandalwood, and vanilla. So I think it takes you through like a whole whirlwind of emotions because it's like fruity and juicy, like that mandarin and pear at the beginning. And then it kind of tones in the middle, like those like florally notes. And then the bottom notes are kind of more of those warmer, like think, like amber, warm amber, like you've smelled perfumes like that before that kind of have that amber scent. So you'll actually be getting, if you qualified for the sample pack preview, you'll get a little cotton pad with the scent in there. So you'll be able to smell it. And I think the bottle is just the cutest thing. Like it's so stinking cute. I just want it on like every shelf everywhere. I don't know why. I just love it so much. So on trend. And again, it just smells really good. I'm not usually a fan of like floral warm perfumes, but I think because it has like the juicy pear and the mandarin, it kind of brings it like more up, like more fruity pear. So anyways, you'll have to smell it and tell me what you think. And this is, let me pull up prices for stuff because I'm not sure yet. Okay, so that is actually going to be part of our regular line. So this is not limited edition, and it's $55. So compared to $296, that's a pretty good deal. Okay, Billy says Versace Bright Crystal Bottle. I've never seen that, but I just love our marketing department because they keep everything like so on trend. So $55 for that. And then we have our men's line. So our men's line got an upgrade, and this has been really kind of exciting, I think. Bo has used the men's line on and off, and he really actually likes the Miracle Set a little bit better because he likes not having the sunscreen in the moisturizer. I know some people like it, some people don't. But really, I think that what was hard with that was that men wanted to moisturize at night, and they didn't want to have to put SPF on at night. So now the cleanser moisturizer are going to be pretty basic. Not basic, but they don't have like that, the moisturizer doesn't have SPF. So a male is going to be able to wash day and night. And then if they want to put sunscreen on in the daytime, they can go ahead and, they could use like the mineral SPF, or they could get the Day Defender or something. Well, I guess either of those two, or they could use the SPF 50 as well. So it kind of gives them more options. I will be honest, I actually haven't had Bo try this yet because I had it stashed away because I was finishing. I wanted him to finish like his old set. And then the other day I was like, oh, I really need to have you switch to it. So I haven't haven't had him try it yet, but I did smell it and feel it. And I love the sleek black. Like, it's just a super sleek black bottle. They're kind of like a matte color, and they're huge. So, well, they're the same sizes. This is the same size as our 4-in-1 cleanser, and then our antioxidant moisturizer, I would say. So it has a very light consistency. So it's just a very kind of soft, I would say it's a little jelly, but it's kind of more like, I don't know. I mean, it definitely is a gel, which I feel like men need more of the cleansing properties because they're usually dirtier. But it's still like, I don't know, it's still like a creamy gel almost. And I don't even have any water on my fingers, and I don't know if you could tell, it's like sudsing up on my fingers. So I really like the feel of it, and it doesn't really have a smell. I mean, yeah, not that I can smell anyway. There's no scent to it. So that'll be the new cleanser for men. And then the moisturizer is called the Ultimate Moisturizer. And to me, it feels very similar to kind of the antioxidant moisturizer. It doesn't really have a smell either. Actually, to me, it smells like, no, it doesn't really have a smell. It kind of smells like I would say it smells like the antioxidant moisturizer. So that's the cleanser and moisturizer. And those are each 20. No, I'm sorry. The facial wash is 20. The moisturizer is 30. So 50 for those. And then it also has the moisturizing shave cream. And so it's not a shaving foam. It's actually a shaving cream. And I can't give you a lot of feedback on this because Bo doesn't shave like down to this, like he uses like a trimmer. So he doesn't really shave. But the consistency of this is like almost, in a weird way, it's almost like shampoo. Like, so I don't know exactly how that's gonna feel if you have a man that actually shaves. Like, I think my dad still does, so maybe I'll have him try it, give us some feedback. But it's not a shaving foam. It's more of like it literally feels to me like shampoo. So I'll be kind of curious to see how that goes. Go ahead.
Is it gonna offer some more moisturization maybe?
Yeah, let me read a little bit about it. That's kind of what I was thinking too. So the cleanser says prep for shaving by thoroughly cleaning the skin, reducing excess oil. And then the shave cream is combine comfort with a cooling sensation for a close shave and protect against razor burn. So, and then this one says 86% of men agreed that MK moisturizing, because it's called the moisturizing shave cream. So yes, it's going to moisturize more. But 86% of men agreed that the shave cream gives them a comfortable close shave. So I think it's going to be very similar to a shaving foam. It's just not really going to foam. It's going to be more of a like I don't know, like almost like a wash. Does anyone use the 2-in-1 body wash and shave from Mary Kay? Okay, Andy does. Okay, I use that too. So I wonder if it'd be similar to that, where it's more of a wash that you shave with, because I love that stuff on my legs. And I shave my arms too. So more you kind of like wash, like suds it up and then shave. And I don't ever get like razor burn or anything. So, and that shaving cream is 20. So the whole set is 70. Or individually, it's 20 for the cleanser, 20 for the shave cream, and 30 for the moisturizer. And I really do believe the consistency of it will last, especially men, because they're not the most consistent, but will last a long time because it's a very great feeling product. It's not going to like, you don't need a lot of it, I can tell. So I'll report back. I'll have Bo try at least the cleanser and moisturizer. I really should have had him do that, but I wanted to get rid of like what we had first. So okay, so there's the men's line. And then we have our, which I didn't get in yet, but they only sent me the lotion. But we have the lavender and coconut body lotion and a body wash. So this is the body lotion. They're both $16 and they both are limited edition. So this is similar to our other body care line that we have, the berry and vanilla and the apple and almond. If you've tried those, it's the same line, but the scent is lavender and coconut. And it smells really good, actually. It's very summery. The coconut to me is a little stronger than the lavender, but I don't know. I don't smell lavender a lot, I guess. So like maybe, and I have a bad nose too. So, well, I smell lavender at first and then the coconut like comes in. But anyways, it's been on my desk and I've been using it and I really like how it smells, feels and smells. So $16, there's a shower gel and a body lotion. They're $16 each. And those are limited edition. So once those are sold out, they'll be gone. And then we have, what else do we have? Ooh, okay. Actually, give me 1 second because I just got my order in and the other lip color is in there. So give me a second. I'll go get it. Oh gosh. Okay, so this has been the most exciting one, and I have actually just been so in love with it. But they are the new lip oils, and they are actually part of the Pink Changing Lives program. If you're not familiar with that or if you've never heard of it, so every so often we come out with a lip color, and every sale, $1 is donated from the sale to the Mary Kay Ash Foundation. So that's our foundation that donates to domestic violence shelters and cancer research. And so every sale of the lip color, they're going to take $1 and donate that to the Mary Kay Ash Foundation. So that runs from April 26th through September 15th. And then they are limited edition. So when they sell out, they're gone. But this one is berry. And a couple of you got to see it the other night when we had a little launch party and I put it on. But this one is blush. And it's a very, like, I love it's hard to tell, but it's like a really, really thick, like it's like if you can compare it to my finger. Oops. It's like a really thick wand. I don't know why I love it so much. Makes me feel fancy, I guess. But it's just a very light color. The oil. Okay, so it's a super high shine hydrating lip oil. Let me see if there's any extra info on it. Let's see. Okay, right here. Lip oils are particularly popular among Gen Z customers, making them an ideal demographic to introduce this new product to. For an extra pop of color, These lip oil duos are perfection. Okay, that's kind of not really any information. But I did see, I swear I saw the other day, was it on this? But they're made with like all these like super yummy oils. Like I think there was, I don't know where I was reading that. Like there was like, I'm totally wrong here, but it was like olive oil and coconut oil and like vitamin C oil and vitamin E oil. Like I that, don't quote me on that. But it was like all these like yummy, nourishing oils mixed together into the lip oil. So they just have like a little tint of color. And this is the blush. So it looks very similar to my lip color. But, and I don't know if this is normal, you guys, but I kind of like it. To me, I hope I'm not like allergic to it. I don't think I am. It has like a tiny, tiny little bit of a tingle. Or no, does it have peppermint oil? It might have peppermint oil. Did I read that? I'm sorry. I lost where I found that at. But there's like this little tiny tingle in there, and it feels so good to me. Like it feels like a lip plumper almost, but like not that bad. So I've just been putting it on because I like the way that it feels. It almost feels like if you've ever worn Burt's Bees chapstick and it kind of has that little like tingle to it. I don't know. It might just be me though. So there's the blush. So you can kind of see the color, not on my lips. And then I'll show you the berry, which I actually haven't been able to try yet. So let me take this off. Oh yeah, Andy, I totally forgot about that. I don't think it's peppermint. But I don't know if there's a different name for peppermint. So on here, there's a methoxypropanediol. I don't know how to say that. Shea oil, something parky oil, avocado oil, apricot, anything menthol. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to use it then. You might have to do some extra research on that because I'll have to look for it too. I know I saw something that said like what was actually in it. But I would say that it's not a burning. That's what the tingle is. It literally feels like if you were to put like a Burt's Bees or something on. Okay, here's the berry. This one right here. So it's a little bit darker in color, but they're very similar still. And let me put this baby on. I've been wanting to try this. So here is, whoops. Oh, it actually like, it's almost more transparent in a way. I don't know how to explain it. It's this one here. It's almost like lighter, not lighter in color, but like more transparent. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. That one's really light on me too. I have pretty dark lips though. So, okay. So those are the lip oils, but they're super hydrating. And I just am obsessed with this little wand. I just don't know why. It's so like, it just feels so good. So those are $20 each. And they're limited edition. Don't forget that. So once they sell out, they'll be gone. but I have loved those. I've almost worn the blush one probably every single day since I got it. Except for like maybe today, like when I didn't put anything on. But yeah, it's been amazing. So, okay, what else did I miss? Did I miss anything else? I don't think I missed anything else. The sunscreen bundles are still available. So if you want sunscreen or aftercare, after sun, Billy, I saw your sunburn the other day, so that was pretty cool. And then the towel is still available as well if you want, or if your customers want that. But they are special editions, so I assume they'll be selling out sometime soon because they've been out for kind of a while. Now that we get into summer, they'll be more popular. And then you'll see the bronzers in the catalog. However, we don't have any word about them. So if you remember when they first launched, there actually was some issues with them being shipped and broken. And it was a product issue. So they pulled them off of availability until they could get it fixed. And so I've heard the most recent news is that it's fixed. They just I think they're producing them and they don't know exactly when they'll be ready. So if your customers are looking for bronzers or you want bronzer, just know that they are coming. I don't exactly know when, but they haven't sold out yet because they actually stopped production of them to fix them, and then they'll relaunch them when they come back out. So you will see them in the catalog, but just know right now they are kind of in the air with that. So, okay. So does anyone have questions about the products? Anything product related, summer product related? No? Okay. Okay. So if you did PCP or you were a star last quarter, you'll be able to order those on the 10th of May, so in 4 days. And then if you didn't do either of those, then you can order them on the 15th. So stars and PCP participants get 5 days early, which is really awesome to be able to get those in earlier and get them to your customers or pre-sell them or whatever. And then everybody else can order on the 15th. Okay. So mark your calendar for those dates. And then, like I said, I'm wanting to try to somehow tie in the catalog being delivered. For those of you who did PCP, if you could tie that in some way to, the pop-up parties. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the pop-up parties that we've been doing, or I've been learning about. I did a couple of them so far the last couple weeks, and then we'll open it up for discussion. So, okay, so most of you, I would say all of you actually, well, probably except Tanya as a consultant. And then, oh, hey, Heather, I see you're on. So Heather hasn't done one either. But most of you have done a Facebook party. And so you know what that looks like. You know what that feels like. A Facebook party is essentially where you have a hostess or you're the hostess and you add your friends to a Facebook group. On that Facebook group, you have posts. So the posts are typically scheduled to go out, a couple times a day. People can interact with them, blah, blah, blah. And the way that we've been doing the Facebook parties is with samples. So people who join the party can get samples, and then we go live on, typically Thursdays, right? So just to kind of refresh you, I know most of you know what that is like. So, and Kim, I actually don't know if you've done one as a consultant. I think you just maybe did one as a customer. So, but you've seen the experience of it. So anyways, long story short, Holly found this training or something, I'm not really sure, where these girls who were doing Facebook parties, were starting to become to like a stunt, not a stunt, but like they're with Facebook algorithm and like the going live and like all of that stuff, it just gets kind of messy sometimes. And so, anyways, I don't know how all of this came about, but these girls that Holly learned this from started doing messenger parties instead of Facebook parties. And at first, when Holly told me about it, I was like, no, like, no thanks, like, I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. I don't really know. And she was like, well, I have like a couple set up. And so, if you want to like hop in mine and just kind of see it, you can. So anyways, I guess the idea about it, and of course, like I said, I don't know the full details because she's the one who kind of learned it and passed it to me. But the girls who were doing the Facebook parties were running into the problems with like Facebook algorithm and engagement, and that like the parties were long. They're typically a week long where you add people, they interact for the week, and then they have the live or whatever. People do them differently, right? Well, apparently what one of them was trading on was that she kind of realized, or she thought, that people's attention spans are just so small right now. They're so small. Even on things like this, even on a meeting, even on a training, right? Like you only have a short amount of attention span that you're paying attention. And then you kind of lose it. And so anyways, this girl, I don't know if she came up with it or she just evolved it or whatever, but she started doing her parties in a Facebook Messenger chat. And like I said, at first I was like, I don't really want to do that. Like, how does that even work? Like, whatever. And so some of you have been around. So anyways, I watched one of Holly's, and some of you have been around long enough that you remember kind of during COVID that we had done the pink pop-up parties in a WhatsApp chat group in place of our open house. Does anyone remember that? Or was anyone here for that? Participated in one of those? Billy wasn't. Mom, you were at some point. Andy was. Okay. Well, anyways, we did these little pop-up chats in WhatsApp. Okay. And so basically what it was like every hour on the hour, these deals were posted and people would comment back and say, like, I want it. Like they would be like, I want it. I want it. We would post the after sun gel. I want it. We would post like lotions. I want it. We did it for like our Christmas open house during COVID because we couldn't really do an open house. And so we posted like little Christmas gifts. Like we did like Mint Bliss foot lotion bundles or like whatever. So the idea behind it, like I said, was that every hour on the hour, a different deal was posted, and it was all these girls in a chat, and they would comment, I want it, and you'd sell a bunch of products. And then there was like booking incentives and whatever. So anyways, when I watched Holly's, I was like, okay, this is very similar to what we did before. It's just a little bit different content, and it's actually a little bit more private because it's not like, so the pink pop-ups were like one group, and Billy would add her customers, and Julie would add her customers, and Andy would add her customers, and it was everyone's customers like in one group. So there was a lot of people in there. And so these new messenger parties are just either like you as the hostess and your people, or a hostess and her people. At the moment, I've only gotten, and Holly's done, like I said, a little bit more than me, but at the moment I've gotten, I did one for myself. So I did my customers. I did one for one of Andy's consultants that was close to finishing her Great Start bundle. She was like $90 away. So I was like, hey, let's try one of these and see if you could just sell some products to get there. So I did one for her. And then I did one last week for one of my consultants that was, it was her last month. She had she was a it was her last month as a consultant to be able to get active. And so she wanted to do one with me. And so that's what I've done so far. What was I going to just say? I lost my train of thought. I just lost my train of thought. That's what I've done so far were those 3. Oh, so somewhere in the middle of all of that, after Holly had added me to one of hers, my press-on nail girl that I buy my press-on nails from, she posted in her stories and was like, hey, like, I just did a messenger party with like Susie and her girlfriends, and Susie earned like $100 of free product, like, let me know if you want to be a hostess. And so me being a consumer, right, like I was like, I want to see like these other companies are doing this, and like, what are we missing out on? Like, this is a thing I didn't even know was a thing, you know? So I messaged her and I was like, hey, I'd love to hold a party for you. Like, how do I do it? And I thought that she was going to give me like invite scripts and like tell me how many people to put in the group and like tell me what to post. And like, I really thought that she was like going to give me all this knowledge that I could just take and recreate into our party. And then she literally was like, okay, like, here's your group. Like, you can add people to it. Like, she didn't give me any, nothing, like no invite, no post, no instruction. I was like texting her and I was like, hey, like, do I need it? Like, what do I do? You know, like, do I say something? Like, whatever. So obviously, because I've been in direct sales for 11 years, I knew what to do. And I invited quite a few of you girls were on there. And obviously, I wanted to do it as a party because I love the product. I love sharing the product, and I wanted to get some hostess rewards. But I also wanted to do it as a consumer to see what that looked like, right? And so the girls that were on that pop-up party, you got to kind of experience what that was like on the consumer side of like learning from somebody, getting the notifications, interacting, asking questions, getting the information and the education from her. And then when all was done, you know, you placed an order, you didn't place an order, you bought what, you know, what interested you, right? And so I think she didn't ever tell me the final total, but I think she ended up selling probably $800 or $900 in nails to the girls that were on that chat. And so it really just kind of sparked my interest because I was like, okay, like, this works. People are shopping quickly. Like, they just want information quick. They want to be able to decide what they want. And then they kind of like go on their way. They order it and move on. Right. And so I was a little bit more willing after that to try the chat, or try the party chat, because I had seen it work for a different company. And what was really helpful for me was I really loved how she made it. Like, she even told me, you know, she calls it like a master class because she tries to teach it as like they're basically taking a problem that people have, which is not enough time to do, you know, nails. It's so expensive. It's so time consuming, whatever. They're taking all of those concerns from people and they're fulfilling a need or like a concern and saying like, hey, here's how you fix this. Right. So it was more of kind of instead of just like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, it was more of kind of in like a class type setting. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like you girls had good feedback. Like you said, it was really enjoyable to kind of learn. And then, you know, it was open for a couple days and people could place orders. So anyways, to get to what I was talking about was I took some of Holly's content. I took some of what Woody did in the nail class. And I kind of evolved it. We're still evolving it. We're still working on it, but kind of evolved instead of like a pop-up party where it's like these like sales and deals, like I kind of evolved it into like, how could we teach people these things that they have about their concerns, right? So anyways, that's kind of here nor there, but so I'll tell you kind of my results, and they have been a little interesting to me, I think. So Andy's consultant was my very first one that I did because, like I said, she had her bundle to earn, and I wanted to get her done with that if we could. And so she ended up selling. It was like and this is where I kind of messed up because again, we were learning. We called it a test party. So a lot of her guests thought that they were just testing something out for her. And it kind of caused some confusion. So we changed that. But she still ended up selling, I think it was like $265. Okay. And then I did one. So after I did my PCP, the people who joined my catalog or whatever, I was like, hey, I'm doing like, I'm learning this new party. Can I get you on? Blah, blah, blah. Let me see what I sold if I have it. So, let me see where I was at. Hold on. Where was that? Oh, right here. Okay, so I sold $594. And these were some of my really good customers that were in there that stay pretty stocked up. So honestly, at first I was like, oh gosh, no one's even going to buy anything because like they all have stuff that they need. And anyways, I still ended up selling $594. And then I did one for my consultant that, like I said, she was in T status. So I did mine and hers on the same day. And she was I think she sold $605. And then I did, is that all I did? Yeah, that's all I did. Okay. And then I did, so I'm playing with different things. This is irrelevant kind of, but alongside of that, we were learning that people were doing launch parties without samples to get people in quicker because sometimes samples and things take a while. And so I tested it out with 2 consultants last week. Tanya is still in the works. We kind of had some technical difficulties and some family emergencies come up, and I think it kind of put a little speed bump in things. She did end up yesterday finalizing her first sale. And there's a couple more girls that are working on getting their orders to us, but she sold a couple products yesterday and we're kind of working through the rest of them. And so that one is kind of it's not a messenger party. What I did with that was actually I put everybody into the group chat. Just posted some information there, and then we actually got on live like we would do a Facebook party, and I just went through products, but it didn't have samples. Okay. So I did that for her and Mariah, she ended up from the same party, she ended up at $900 in sales, and there was no samples. It was like a 45-minute live video that I did for them. It was like QVC. Like I was like, here's the new lip oil, put it on. Like, here's the eye patches. Here's the charcoal mask. Like it was very QVC style. Okay. So she sold $900 in that one. So all of that to be said, the more that I'm getting into this, I never ever want to replace skincare parties or facials or virtual parties with samples. But there's a whole other market of people who like will literally get on into a group chat and learn information and buy product within a 30 to 45 minute informational period, because our attention spans are like this small. And so I'm kind of evolving things a little bit. I don't want to get too much information now because I don't want to like confuse you, but from Mariah, so I'm pretty positive we have the sales portion down of it. I mean, in 4-party or like kind of 4-ish parties, what is that? We're at like $2,400 in sales. So I'm pretty positive we have the sales portion down of it. What Holly and I are now trying to figure out is how do we turn that into like a booking or a booking with samples, or like, hey, get on a beauty resort event, something like that. And I'll screen share here in a second just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But from Mariah's, what I did on her live, or kind of Mariah and Tanya's what I did on the live, which was a little different. And it was a little bit of a different style because it was a launch party, but I was trying to book hostesses. And so we booked one hostess, Mariah booked one hostess. And instead of doing the party in a Facebook group like we normally do, I'm actually doing it in the Facebook chat. I'm probably blowing your guys' mind right now. I'm doing it in the Facebook chat, and I'm having people sign up for samples, and then we're going to get on live next week and do the party. So what I'm trying to say is, like, whether we continue to do Facebook parties or like whatever, this whole new idea kind of like the Facebook group is very interesting to me, because I think we no longer, hopefully, who knows, but like it's no longer fighting the Facebook group algorithm. If you know anything about that, you can post in your group and Facebook will literally say, oh, this post isn't important, and it's going to be hidden. Okay, so a lot of people aren't even seeing the content that you're putting in a group. That's one. The second thing is that a week of like posts, I mean, I'll tell you by like day 3 or 4 or 2, people are kind of like a little, there's not a lot of engagement. So I probably confused the heck out of you, but what I'm trying to say is that, and none of you would probably be in the place right now to do, like, you're not going to do the launch party and you don't have a hostess. So this would be more of, you're the hostess. We invite your friends to the group chat. We do the little pop-up party for your people, just like I did for mine. Get you some sales, hopefully try to get you some bookings or people doing samples or whatever, and then kind of go from there. So I'm going to kind of show you this last one I did, and I actually, which was kind of interesting, she didn't have a lot of her people didn't have Facebook. So we actually did it in a group text. But let me kind of show you so you can kind of see what I'm at least talking about a little bit. Okay, so this was my consultant, Jenna. She's the one who sold $600. Okay, so she just made her little group chat here. This is on text, like I said, because her people didn't have Facebook. But it would normally be like in a Facebook chat. I introduced myself. I post that I'm doing a giveaway. There's some kind of ways that they can interact. So they comment back, whatever. I just kind of did a couple, and I'm playing with the posts. Like, I don't know if I love all of them yet, but we're kind of playing with them. So here's how they can get entries into the drawing, some interaction posts. What's your experience? So they comment back. And she only actually had 6 people in her group. So she had a pretty, like, our goal is like 13 is what this girl is saying her magic number is. And Jenna only had 6, which was still great, but I think she would have had a lot more interaction and stuff if she had some more in there. So then I kind of post some different pictures of different things, whatever it pertains to. I'm kind of giving them some information about Mary Kay, which one surprises you. We did a skincare post, so it was kind of all about skincare, pictures, which bra do you need? They got to talk about, they got to pick their, oh, I want this bra. We talked about masks, eye patches. So kind of some different, and I'll be honest, every party I've done so far, I've done different posts for, because I'm like, oh, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. But people comment back, I want it. I want it. I want it. We did exfoliation, toning lotion. I might want it, might try in the future. We did some makeup stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then this is kind of where I tried to get some bookings, which this group of girls weren't really interested, but I'm trying. And then I just did, what was really cool was I did a countdown of orders. So every time someone ordered, I would just post in there, thank you for your order. And I counted down to the 5 party orders. And then once we got the 5 party orders, we did the drawing. So the other part of this is that, some of you that have a Facebook group, okay, and again, this is something Holly and I are kind of playing with, but some of you that have a Facebook group it's hard to keep up with engagement in there. And so Facebook will literally hide your group. Like, people won't see stuff you post. If there's no interaction or anything in there, it's probably not going to be seen. And so Holly's idea was to keep the group chat open. Because we did that with our pink pop-up parties, like during COVID. So what we did was we actually, at first, we were creating a new group every pink pop-up, and then we would delete it and then start a new one. And then after a minute, we were like, wait, why are we doing that? Why don't we just keep all the people in there? And then every quarter or whatever, we'll post the new product. And it worked great because people were able to see the new products every quarter. So we kind of took that idea. And so now, because Jenna's a very low maintenance consultant, but she sold 2 repair set, or a repair set, a miracle set. She has some really good customers. So anyways, Holly's idea was to keep the group open. And so now when the new products launch, or if there's a flash sale, we could just come into this group chat and post the new products, and her customers can see them or can learn about them. So it could kind of be like an ongoing thing. It's almost like a Facebook group, but it's in a chat. So I know that's a lot of information. The first place to start, if you're interested in doing this with me, is that we would just pick a day. And I'll do a few, whoever wants to do one with me, we'll kind of do it slowly, or not slowly, but, sporadically or whatever, but we'll pick a day. I have the invite scripts and everything. I have all of the posts and everything. We'll pick a day and time. You add your people to the group, and then I will do all the posting. And my goal is, especially because you girls are pretty capable yourself, most of you, my goal would be that if you wanted to continue to do one, or if you had a hostess or something like that, we have everything in a board, and you would be able to literally just take those posts that you saw in Jenna's chat, and you could do your own pop-up. And so then, like Andy, girls with a team, Billy, Julie, and I say Andy because she has more team members that need more help. Like, not help, but like I'm only so duplicatable, right? So like Andy would be able to help those people. Like Andy, you could learn that, take that, and then you could go do a party. You could do pop-ups for Kristen and Heidi and Susan and whatever, So so that's kind of where we're at with that. And like I said, I'm still learning it, still trying to learn how to get bookings, still trying how to learn how to evolve it into more. But my main focus with it, like I said, I really like the idea of trying to connect it to trying to connect it and keep it in a fluid motion of kind of when the new catalogs come out. So like if you imagine we do one now, May is a perfect time because the new catalog is coming out soon. And then in 3 months, when the other new products come out, those same people would be in that group. We could go back into that group and do another one or whatever, if that makes sense. So what questions do you have? Can I answer any questions? Is that exciting? Is that overwhelming? What do you think? Give me all the things.
I'm really excited about this, and the more I listen to you talk and everything, I can remember sitting at my sister's house. I don't know, it's been a long time, but we were sitting there and we were watching like some channel on TV where they did this demonstration on knives and such or whatever, and they cut through plastic, and it was amazing. And so we ended up buying 4 sets of knives that day, one for you, one for Carrie, and one for her, and one for myself. And it was like a special thing. They did buy one, get one at a discount. So all of this kind of just reminds me of like QVC, where you're giving people the information on the products. And because I watch TV a lot, like some of that stuff, and it's like, ooh, that would be fun. Ooh, that would be great. And it's like you want to order. And so I think by doing this stuff, people's mentality at that time is like, oh my God, that sounds so good. Let's buy it right now, because you're interacting with them on the spot. And so I think it's a really good thing to do.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too, especially with seasoned consultants, right? Like sometimes getting some of those products out to your people or the information or whatever it's not super feasible, like if you're not committed to doing that. And so it's just a way of that. It's just a different way. And like I said, at first I was very, very much like I know, like people don't want to be in a chat and that's like all the notifications and da da da. But like honestly, you guys, people, their attention spans are like this big. And so I think in the chat, it's like a whole load of information at once. They could see what they want or don't want, and then they can like move on. And so it's kind of like you said, like QVC, like you take what you get and you like it, and then you move on. So yeah.
Well, and I think the fact that they see other people interacting on that, it's like, oh, okay, well, this must be hot. Look at all the people that are on or whatever that are. So to them, it's like, oh, this stuff is great. Look at the people on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like just QVC, you see them flash on the screen. 2 more sold, 500 more sold. Keep them coming. Keep the orders coming type of thing. And people just love that.
Right. Anyone else? I'm going to pull up my messenger thing or my party I did because it was different than Jenna's, but does anyone else have thoughts or ideas or let's see. How do I open this? Okay, I don't know where it's at or how to share screen. I guess I have to do it this way, which is fine. So mine was a little longer, and what's funny is every party is at first, like any training we've seen has said it's 15 minutes. And Holly and I are like, it is definitely not 15 minutes. So that's evolved too. But I did mine more and I actually used a girl's board that she had, which is why I said like it's been evolving. But very similar stuff to Jenna's that I had in here, people replying back, some reminders, some interaction, and some party deals, some party information. So mine was very much more, like I said, I used the girls board and some of Holly's, but it was kind of like targeting these like skincare concerns. It was a lot of kind of different product posting, a lot of like before and afters. So I toned it down a little bit. I did mine first and then I did Jenna's, which I kind of like Jenna's a little bit better. But like you can see here in these comments, these people are like, I switched from Target bra to push-up bra. I won't ever go back. I love the repair set. I need the chemical. I need this like lifting serum. I love the mask. So it's just been really interesting to see. And what's funny is I knew that people would do this because we had such great results with the pink pop-up, but now thinking of it as a party, so where you literally could get a hostess and she could invite her friends to do this with you, you could be getting essentially, I want you to think of it as like lead generating. You're generating the lead. So like you girls that did the nail party for me or with me, you're now a new lead for Woody, right? Like, yes, you became customers and you might reorder, like whatever, but like she just expanded her customer base by 10 new people because you all got on and learned about the nails and then, bought. And so I just wanted to kind of show, people interact, people comment stuff. And we do the same thing. We do a group chat close. If, we just do is there anything you want to buy? Do you want to book? Do you want to blah, blah, blah? And so what was really, really interesting, and here's what I really love too, is, and this is just a reminder as well, but I did this countdown, this order countdown. This is the first time I did it. And I was stuck at one order to go forever. And so I put a deadline and I said, we have until 9 p.m. to get the orders done. And this girl that, one of my customers, she was one of the very first ones that I messaged after the party. And she said, no, I'm good. Like, I don't need anything. And at like 8:45 p.m. on this, after I posted this deadline, she texted me and was like, hey, am I still too late to get into the drawing? Like, I need my skincare. I could use my skincare set. And so I sold another like $100 like 5 minutes before the party ended. And I truly believe it was because she saw this countdown and she had a nudge to her to where she was like, okay, I'll just buy it. And she had already told me she wasn't going to buy anything. So I just also think, like, not in a weird way, but I think the pressure of like some of that, like, I don't want to pressure anybody, but I think sometimes that pressure, when people like, have you ever been invited to something and you don't really reply. And then finally, like on that 5th time, you're like, okay, like, yes, I'll go. And then my customer, Jessie, I have been trying to get her in to my office. We haven't been able to connect. She's like, hasn't done a part. Like, I don't know. She's been a great customer, but we haven't been able to connect very well. And so she loves online stuff like this, and she rarely buys. Like, she does buy, but I feel like she buys like a lot of like random stuff, like here and there. And every time I'm like, hey, like, do you need to reorder or whatever? She's like, no, like, I don't need anything. Or if I do a sale or whatever, she got on and she literally bought $260 of stuff. And every time I talk to her, she's like, oh, like, I don't need anything new. I don't need anything new. and she got on and bought. So like it just is a different way that I think some people like to shop in person, some people like to shop at a party, some people will shop online, but it's just a different layering piece. So that's what I got with you. Or that's what I got for you. Anything else? Any questions? Any last things, and we'll wrap up. We're 9 minutes over.
Did you see my text or my
No.
message there?
My text.
So if your sales were about 600, how many different orders were there? Like, was that 2 orders, 6 orders, 10
Well,
orders?
I counted down from 5 orders. So 5.
So
I had
5 orders.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. And how many people did you think you had on?
Well, I had, let me see. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, magic number kind of 13 is what that girl said. That was my goal. And I'll tell you, I accidentally did it on Sunday during church. And so there was like 1, 2, well, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 who didn't even get on at all and participate or text me back, which was kind of interesting because they were like, yeah, I'd love to. And I don't know. Anyway, so I really only had what's 12 minus 5, I said. So I really only had about 7 people that were on and interacting that actually like participated. And I got the 5 orders. Jenna had 6 in her group. Michelle had like 11 maybe. And she had a few smaller orders. She had 4 or 5 smaller orders. Jenna had 5 orders. Mariah's party was a little different because I did a live, but she had like 6 or 7 people in her group, and she had 6 orders, sold 900. And then Tanya had, I think I'd have to go count 10 or 11, and we're still working on hers. We have 1 order so far, and there's a couple that are looking and gonna hopefully order. So it's kind of, I think that 5 party order number is pretty solid. Like I think you could get 5 out of,
Well,
10.
yeah, that's pretty good. If 5 people ordered and you got 600, that's a pretty good deal, I would think.
Yeah. And I will say the one negative about this, which I'm not exactly sure how this is going to be solved, and maybe it's not. The cool part with the Facebook groups is you could schedule the posts. In the Facebook chat, you can't schedule the posts. So you have to be available. You have to be available to post. But really, it takes me maybe 20 to 30 minutes. No, I shouldn't say that. 30 to 45 minutes to get through all the posts. And then I kind of just leave it for the day for people to kind of look through and stuff and do follow-up later. So if you could have 30 to 45 minutes, to hop on and post, it's not a bad, and then you have to do your follow-up. But I forgot to mention, okay, so this was exciting. And she just hopped off, but Tanya's party, so I'm not exactly sure what happened, but she had quite a few girls in her group, and they didn't join the live that we did. And then I don't know exactly what happened, but they didn't get on. And so I messaged her and I just said, hey, what if I just post the specials in your group chat? Because no one got on the live and saw them, and she's like, okay, yeah. And so I ended up doing that Sunday for her. We didn't have a lot of interaction kind of in between that. And after I did all the posts on Sunday is when she started having people like interact, and she got her first sale. And then we had a couple other people that were like, I'm gonna look through this and get with you. So it was kind of interesting because like they didn't get on the live for some reason. But then I posted I did like a backup plan, and I just posted everything in there, and then people like started buying stuff. So I don't know, it just might be the new way. We're just have to evolve with how everything changes.
Well, I'm all for it, and I have a new vehicle to pay for. So
You do.
yeah, I just sent you a text. But yeah, so I'm pumped and I'm excited because it's something new to try and something different, and sign me up.
Well, we'll touch base for those girls that want to do one together, and we'll kind of work on that with the catalogs coming up, and even just as a kind of an introduction for some of the new products. So
Yeah, and so Billy, if you're interested, and if you have some time off, you could come and stay with me, and then we could go to Tanya's and we can get it like, get a party scheduled and a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun.
Right.
online party?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Well, just to kind of learn more about it and just kind of get together with you and schedule things and just,
Oh,
we always go down there, and I just thought it'd be an opportunity for her to come up and, kind of work maybe the whole team together and just get some stuff going.
oh,
Because I think we all need it. I think we're all at a position where we're wanting to do things, but you know what I mean? We got to do something.
go do it.
That's what I'm telling you. Sign me up.
Words into action.
Right?
Okay. Well, there's the info you all were looking for, and hopefully that was helpful, and we'll just give them a try and get going.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Good.
Don't forget, order your products the 10th, the 15th. You could pre-sell them if you want, but they're pretty juicy. So
Okay.
have a good night.
Do you have any codes for those? I just remember we were talking last time. It's like, okay, pre-sell those things.
Oh,
Give us a code.
no, I haven't. I'm not a big pre-seller on. Well, depends on what the product is, I guess. But I could probably find one if you would like one.
Yeah, well, whatever it takes, because I need to get my button gear, sell some stuff, and do a double payment on this car so I can get it paid for. So,
okay, sounds good.
all right,
Yeah,
good guys. Bye.
Popular sale today, so good deal.
Yay, Billy, that's awesome.
You did what? I didn't hear you.
$253 sale today.
Yay.
Yay.
Love that.
That's our girl.
This stupid project broadcast bug done, and then I'll be moving again.
Yeah.
A couple
You gotta
years.
get there.
We're
That's
good. Awesome. All right, ladies. I'm going to go
Alright.
to dinner, so we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.